KPOO 89.5 FM. You were listening to the Madhouse. And you guys, if I had one phrase to summarize that song, it would be,
damn, son, where'd you find this?
That's right. That's the best way I could summarize that song. But you guys, I have the two gentlemen that did that song with me in the studio. Why don't you go ahead and reintroduce yourself, my friend?
What's up, world? It's Teo.
Ayo, Teo from the AO.
And it's your boy EGDABEAST.
What's cracking, EG?
What's going on?
Popping some cherries. No, I'm just playing.
That's right.
This is EG's first interview, if you didn't know.
Yeah,
this is Teo's third, so, but...
First time in this biz.
Yes, but, Teo, for maybe the listeners that haven't heard of you, why don't you go ahead and just briefly reintroduce yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Teo. I am a musician from Sacramento, California, and I pretty much do everything from producing to recording myself, mixing, mastering, rapping, singing a little bit, and, just being creative all around in the sense of the word creative. Trying to push that.
Very, very well spoken. And by the way, also just a little side note, anime viewer.
Anime nerd,
anime
for
viewer.
sure. Absolutely.
But EG, what about you, man? Tell our listeners a little bit about you that maybe have never heard of you.
I'm EGDABEAST. People call me EG for short. Hailing out of Sacramento, California. I'm a producer / artist out of the city, man. And my thing is making the dopest music that I could possibly make with all of the dopest artists that I could possibly make it with. You know what I mean? And Teo just happens to be one of the first ones to get his hands on a fully produced album and stuff by EGDABEAST. So, so many more to come. But, that's a little bit about myself, just producing, making this music. Sacktown, we in the building.
Well, not only is it just Teo and EG here in the studio, but we also have a female chilling with us as well. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the viewers or to the listeners?
Hey, this is Meesh, or known as Meesh, here to support Teo. Super excited, glad to be here with KPOO.
Glad to have you. So Teo, just to maybe again for maybe the listeners that haven't heard of you, what is how long have you been doing this music thing? Because I've known you for countless years now. What seems to be countless years. But, what about, how long, maybe for anyone that doesn't know you, how long have you been in this music thing?
Yeah, so I've been writing music since 2011, and I didn't start releasing music till about at the end of 2015 is when I dropped my first project, and I've just been going since then. So I would say about 11 years. From like the inception of actually starting to like write records. So yeah.
Dope. What about you, EG? How long have you been in this music game?
Michael? Yeah, me, I've been making beats for a long time, and I started out doing the beat thing first. I would say like 14 or something like that. So 2005 or something, I think, right? Right, yeah, around that time I started making beats, and then I started getting into the lyricism thing as of late, probably like 2019 or something like that, and I just started releasing my first music in 2020, and, it's been going up a little bit, you know what I mean? So we just trying to just keep that momentum going and just keep that passion running and stuff, hopefully people get the chance to hear that shit.
Dope. So now let me ask you, EG, because I'm curious to know. I'm gonna have Teo be quiet, keep quiet for a second, because I want to get your side of the story on this. So how did you link up with Teo?
Me and Teo.
Teo's like getting nervous. He's like, oh damn.
Hey yo, Teo is family, man. Teo is family. Like I've been knowing Teo for a long ass time and stuff. His all of his brothers, I know all his brothers. I'm real close with his mom and stuff. She actually took care of me for a little bit when I needed some help when I was in the younger days. So, I went through my own path. And he went through his own, but we always been rocking with each other. So now that we older and we taking this shit real serious, we just like, I started making some beats. He already knew I was real dope on the beat, so he just been really improving on his artistry and his lyricism. So we just got together and was like, yo, let's get this shit popping. You know what I'm saying? We started making one record. Next thing you know, that album is starting to get formulated. So really, I've been knowing this man for a long ass time. I got sick at his mom's wedding. We had filet mignon, and
God.
and I had food poisoning. Everybody who had the filet mignon had food poisoning. So you ain't gonna never forget that shit.
This is
your homie's mom's wedding. Everybody got messed up, bro.
Oh my God.
Amazing.
See why
I'll never forget that. You feel me?
You see why I asked him the question first before I asked you?
Absolutely.
Oh my God. Whew. Oh my gosh.
That's hilarious.
So Teo, the last time we spoke, I mean, we had you on the show back before the pandemic.
Yeah.
You had dropped the project 2089.
Yeah.
So, what have you been up to? I mean, I follow you on IG, so I know what you've been up to, but maybe the listeners that don't know about, what you've been up to, what's happened?
Yeah. Since the last time we spoke, I released 2089, and we've dropped a few music videos here and there between that time, and also within that two and a half year span. Yeah, I've been releasing singles every month pretty much since like the end of 2020 up until this year, and up until that, I've been cutting a lot of records, I've been producing a lot, and then in that time as well, while I was working on 2089, me and EG were already working on the album, but we kind of were in the infancy stages of it, where we had just cut a record together, and then we approached it with the idea that we wanted to do one, but it didn't start formulating until a few years down the line, and then I've just been working on a lot of music outside of running the clothing brand too, so I've been a little more quiet with that one, but still building on some new designs as well, and so just really just working.
Yeah, no, for sure. And again, I follow you on social media, so I have been seeing that you put out. I believe you were featured on another track with. I'm trying to remember his name, but it was the album that had the Honda on it, I believe, right? That you put out recently. That was also 2022.
Oh yeah, Slide.
Yeah, Slide.
Yeah,
there we go.
Shout out to my boy 006. That's my boy Patty.
Yeah,
that was a fun one.
Yeah. So
shout out to
I saw
Patty.
that you did that, and then I saw also that again fortunately before the pandemic hit, you had dropped the Origami Cranes music video as well, which was like.
You watched it?
I feel I'll be real, Tail. I watched your music videos. And I feel it looks like you're really hands-on when it comes to putting your video concepts together. I checked out the music video for this last song that we just played, called the THIG, right?
Yep.
And so, I mean, it seems like you're really hands-on. You already really again, you've been working the past year, in the sense of plotting everything out, and then by the time they said, all right. Pandemic's over, quote unquote, right?
Yeah.
Do whatever the hell y'all want.
Yeah.
You was ready, still working on music and still cranking out content, man. So
absolutely,
it's really great to see that. And so, tell us about that last song, TIG.
Yeah.
Or THIG, my bad.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, THIG. That was the first song that me and EG worked on together. And it kind of it evolved, obviously, since the time we incepted it. But
it started with a bag of chips.
It started with a bag of chips. real stuff.
It started with a bag of chips.
If you really listen to the beats.
It started with a bag of chips and some chickens.
So that's what that little crunchy, because I'm like, this sounds way too familiar, and so I'm just like, gosh, what the hell? And I couldn't put my finger on it at the moment, and now that you say it, I'm like, oh my gosh, bro.
Yeah.
I can't handle this right now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So it started over a conversation over a bag of chips, right? And so, I mean, how did you guys come up with the title for that single?
So the title, actually, I want to shout out my boy Jay Laced. He's actually the one that shot the video, the THIG video, and before it was THIG, it went through 3 or 4 different name changes. It started out as That's How It Go, and then it became That's Just How It Go, and then it was How It Go. And as we're in the process of finalizing the music video, my boy Jay Laced, he's like, what's the title of the song? And I was like, it's How It Go. And then he asked me, he basically said, well, what if we call it THIG? And I was like, yo, that's fire. Like, let's do that. So then we just decided right there.
Yeah, that was a good idea.
Yeah, no, and again, it's I listened through 2080 or through 2089 because you sent me the whole project. I listened through that, and listening to this single, I'm like, yo, like Teo does a complete 180, and it sounds fire. So I mean, again, it's so crazy just to see how you're always, you're shifting direction and you're trying new things, and it's just, again, that's kind of like how to evolve in this music climate now, right?
Absolutely.
So THIG, is that a standalone single, or is it part of a bigger project that you're planning to put out?
So THIG is it's a single off of the Unlimited Inspiration album that we're gearing up to drop here. And so that was the first, song that we decided to release from the album. And so it will be on the upcoming album.
All right. So, I mean, 2089 was the project where, you decided to, test your hand at producing a few beats.
Yeah.
You said that your album before that, Basal Ganglia, was produced by your brother Testagrossa, right? So now let me ask, what makes Unlimited Inspiration, because that's the name of the whole project, what makes this album different from those two?
The EGDABEAST production, it's crazy. That is like the main factor for like the fuel for this project. It's EG's production, and he really inspired me to like expand my my rapping skill set and like the way I'm approaching the records and the way I think about writing songs and coming especially to like rapping.
Can we tell him the story about can we tell him the Yakuza story?
Yeah.
Tell him.
Yeah. You're gonna want to hear this. This is what changed a lot of things.
Okay. So basically, man, when we was recording the first song, THIG, like they was outside. And then I had a melody playing, and he came back in. I started getting the chips going and all these noises and stuff. And then he already had the rhymes already kind of formulated. So he started getting on the microphone and rapping it. And I feel like this night really evolved both of us. It evolved me as a producer, and it evolved him as an artist and stuff, how his cadence comes on the microphone, how I'm making the beat, building it around somebody's voice. So I just remember us sitting in there, and he was rapping. And, when you build a relationship with somebody, you can keep it 100 with each other, you know what I mean? So I was like, man, that's dope words, but I ain't really like how you coming with that right now, you know what I'm saying? So I had him turn down the lights and stuff in the room, like turn them all dark blue, right? That was the color we turned. So I had him turn all the lights dark blue, and I was like, man, close your eyes real quick. We both closed our eyes, and I was like, imagine you as a Yakuza boss and stuff, and you at this big-ass table, and it's a dim-lit room, and all your homies around. Everybody got cigars blowing. There's females walking around. It's some real gangster shit going on.
Right.
But you the head at the table. You know what I'm saying? Like, you the boss. You got your dope outfit, the pea coat on and stuff.
Right.
And just picture you just laid back, and that's how you rapping, just like that and stuff. You being the Yakuza boss with all your goons around you and stuff, in this professional, dim-lit vibe and stuff. Then he got on the mic and was like, always meditate before I hit it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got on there and changed this whole thing, and we took that energy with every record and stuff, just how we gonna come with it, and we got into our imagination, and it changed both of us as artists and as musicians, most definitely.
And now let me ask, now that I know this Yakuza story, did that have a hand in the music video? Right, in terms of the vibe of the music video, like at least in the car, like because I saw the music video and I see the shot of you kind of like just looking out the window, rapping and everything. So I'm like, now that I know that it was based like that, did that have a hand in it? Yeah,
definitely. I think taking that energy and bringing it to like the vibe of the music video was a big part of it, especially in that scene specifically that you're talking about. Even with the red lighting, that was very like what's the word? Strong, right? Like a strong energy, and so that's what I feel like that record kind of brought. And I mean, even from the second you start, it's like, dun dun dun, dun, like you just know, like, yo, this is about to be crazy. So that's kind of what we wanted to channel with it, and
No, and again, guys, I cannot stress to you all out there in Radioland, when you get the chance, not right now, like, once we finish this interview, then actually after the show, more like, because then. After that, I don't care whatever business you take care in the bathroom. Like, that's for sure a video you gotta watch. Like, make sure to queue it up, not right now, but later, so that way you get what we're talking about. Now, Teo, I will say this: your followers are the most interesting group of people that I've had the pleasure of being kind of like the shadow guy, just like, obviously, like, we follow each other on social media. And so I tune into your IG stories, and this question is from your IG story that one of your followers wrote. And I quote this from Teo himself. He said, "I'm going to answer this question on an interview later." Yeah. And this is that interview.
This is that interview, yeah.
So here we go. Ready? So this question is from one of your followers, and that is, why the album cover?
Why the album cover? This one, I'm going to say for an interview, but I'm going to answer it, but I'm going to get back to you because it's longer. I need more than 15 seconds to explain this to you. So I'm going to get back to you, but I will tell you. So the album cover, this is my boy D. He's filming right now. And I wanted to do a shoot that, going to shout out to D because he is the one who incepted the idea of this, where Tupac is my favorite, like my biggest inspiration, my biggest idol in music in general. And so I always loved those photo shoots he did where he had the black and white, the black and white background, and he had his shirt off, and he did he had his arms behind his back, and a lot of different poses went into that photo shoot. And so I was always really inspired by that photo shoot, and it always resonated with me throughout my life. And so when we were going into this project, for me, the whole vibe of this album, it's a more vulnerable, but still like a very powerful project in terms of like the subject matter to the things we're talking about, to the beat selection. And so I wanted to kind of channel that energy of like like if people were to look at it, they would be curious to what was going on. And so Demetrius, he gave me the idea. He was like, "Yo, imagine yourself in a record store, right? And you're sifting through records, and there's a person you've never heard about, and you're flipping through, and you come across this album called Limited Inspiration, and it's a picture of this guy on the front with his shirt off, with a bunch of tattoos, and he just, he has like his Glock tucked, and he's just looking off to the side, and it's so simple." And I was like, dude, that is an incredible idea. And so we basically approached it with that mindset of like the simplicity of it, to where if you were sifting through a record store and you come across this this vinyl and it's Unlimited Inspiration, you would be curious enough to pick it up and be like, I think I want to check this one out. And so that's what we kind of where the inspiration for the album cover came from.
That's interesting. Now because now that I'm like again recollecting like how it looks, I'm like, damn, like so you're really you're playing with a lot of like. Again, not to sound rude when I say this, but you kind of get really artsy fartsy with it,
Absolutely.
In terms of like how how you approach music, and then how you approach the visual side, plus how you approach like the album cover side. And it's just now that we're like having this conversation, and now that you're telling me all of this, I'm like now starting to like again like it's kind of like the whole like eureka kind of moment for me, because then it's like, oh man, dude, this guy's like ultra creative, and now
he's strategic.
And he's now that he's pulling back the curtain, right? I'm just like, damn, like this man's playing 4D chess. I'm barely trying to catch up. I'm like, I'm over here like still reading the rule book or whatever. So
one thing I love about Teo, man, is that his work ethic and stuff is like really on a whole nother level compared to like average people and shit. And one thing about that is people could turn a blind eye towards what you're doing and not believe in what you're doing as long as they want to. But work ethic and stuff and putting in the work and shit, that shit always fucking prevails and stuff, because this world is so vast and there's just so much that you have to offer to all these people out here, and your work is going to just... It's like a tidal wave. It just comes out of the damn ocean and stuff. It eventually comes onto the shore, and you gotta, it dry, it hit all the sand and stuff, and the sand is the people. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like this dude's work ethic, I learned a lot from him and stuff, and that's one thing that anybody who know him and work with him, that's one thing they could all say that's similar, about him and stuff. Like, man, that dude, he really gets it in on his work battlefield. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to this shit, there's a lot of all of us learn from this man and stuff, and he's just like a really nice, genuine person, And don't get that Glock on the
On the
cover.
photo.
Yeah. Don't get that shit twisted. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
That's to let you know, like, don't get two
He's
things
serious.
twisted. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm serious, but at the same time, man, I'm Teo, and I'm a good dude and shit, and I fucks with y'all and stuff. But I will defend myself and what I love and my people and stuff without remorse. You know what I mean? So that's one thing I love about that guy, man. I had to throw that up in there real quick. I love you, dog. I love you, man.
Love you too, EG.
Yes, sir.
Oh, what a bromance. but so EG, let me ask you. I mean, so you're working on the production side of this project. Let me ask, because like for me, I got more from THIG. I got more of like the modern type of hip hop feel, right?
Dope.
But at least across this whole new project, does it have similar vibe? Does it carry that similar vibe across the whole thing, or is it you try and experiment with as well, like with old school type of beats, or
I'll sum it up for you easy. My favorite producer and everybody who knows EGDABEAST in Sacramento and know my production, they know that my favorite producer, I gather a lot of my influence from Timbaland, the legendary, worldwide renowned Timbaland. You know what I'm saying? I call him Timbaland, Timbo the Almighty, Timbo the King. And I've been studying his beats and the way that he makes music. Whatever his music language is, I've learned it and I've mastered it and stuff. And I haven't mastered it. I'm still scratching the surface, but I've been doing it for so long that it's not like a nigga's trying to like mimic and stuff. You know what I mean? Like yo, this dude got something that's on that language and stuff. So when it comes to making beats for people, there is no set point, or there is no like we're gonna try to do this. Like, it's the music, it's just flow and stuff, and it's gonna gel to whatever it is that you're talking about, whatever the energy in the room is. It's not like we go in there, hey, this gonna be a trap album, we gonna make an R&B song. It's like he could be singing some R&B type shit, but the beat might not even be an R&B beat. It's just something that is gelling to what he is speaking about and what the energy is when we was in the room, we made it. And that makes a new genre style of music and stuff. And that's what I'm trying to do, because that's what Timbaland did, when he was coming up. He made a whole new thing and stuff. And I'm trying to reiterate that. I'm trying to bring history back with that in Sacramento, coming out of here and bringing it around the world. So when you ask, like, what is there more similar to that? Most definitely. But everything, I can tell you that if you listen to the album all the way through, you ain't going to know what the next beat gonna sound like. It's gonna catch you off guard every time.
Okay,
and that's
so
what I like.
So we can expect a mishmash kind of
Right.
Different vibes or different feels, or like there's a song for everybody.
There's
at
a
least.
song for
Exactly.
everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, and again, like again, a lot of people, again, that's an interesting approach, because I mean, again, some people say like, oh yeah, I wanted to take it back with this song, man. Like I wanted to create that vibe of when you're cruising down the street or whatever, right? And so. Again, now our listeners can expect, more than just what they just got to experience, and they're gonna experience, an exclusive. But I want to hold off on that just for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So, I watched the music video, as I said, of THIG.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and I gotta ask, first of all, I'm demanding my next Uber ride. We're playing that song all the way to my place. So.
Let's go.
That's gonna be on the Uber playlist. Like I'm gonna be like, pass the aux cord, fam. I gotta show you this artist.
Yes.
Right.
Let's go.
But Teo, let me ask. Are you planning to shoot any? Because Origami Cranes, right? It was kind of like a skit-ish type of like music video. So THIG has like that kind of like pregame, I guess I could say, like pregame kind of vibe, where you're about to head out and everything like that. So let me ask, are you planning to shoot any more music videos like in the style of like a skit, right, or anything like how you did with THIG for this project?
So for this project, my goal we have already shot like 3 other music videos for this album, and they're all with different directors and filmers. And so the idea was to shoot like 4 or 5 music videos before the project was even announced and completed. So that way, by the time it's, we announce it, then I'll have videos ready to go. So that's how I like to be moving.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so with this project, we have shot videos, and they all vary in terms of like style, in terms of like skits, not so much like Origami Cranes, but more in just the sense of having them be creative in their own space where they live for that specific record. And so so definitely there will be, we got videos coming, and we just been kind of loading up, loading up the metaphorical clip, so to speak, and we're just kind of waiting. And so, yeah.
Alrighty. Well, and then let me also ask you, Teo, because you have your clothing line as well that you said you've been kind of like low, hush hush on. So, but the project is called Unlimited Inspiration, and your clothing line is also called Unlimited Inspiration as well. Mm-hmm. So are you creating a new clothing line based on the project to go with it, or is it just by chance that you happen to name your project Unlimited Inspiration and your clothing line is also called Unlimited Inspiration?
That's a good question. So the next line of the season is not necessarily because the album is called Unlimited Inspiration. It's just going to kind of tie into the project itself, just being that the brand is Unlimited Inspiration. But so not necessarily it's like based off of it, but it's always going to be influenced by it. And this time actually, EG, he gave us the idea to call the album Unlimited Inspiration because we had the longest talk of trying to figure out like, yo, what are we going to call this, man? And we went through a bunch of different ideas, and then he was like, we just going to call it Unlimited Inspiration. And I mean, if you want to tell them kind of like what the idea behind you thinking of
why we called it Unlimited Inspiration. I feel like we called it Unlimited Inspiration because when people get a chance to listen to the album, he's speaking about all this stuff, like all this. He's speaking about this journey that he took to get to this place that he's at right now and stuff. And it's a lot of adversity. It's a lot of, he talking about some heartbreak stuff in there. All the things that we as humans deal with when we going through our path of life, with other people, heartbreaks, trials, and tribulations. He's speaking about those things from his own perspective. And it's in a sense, it's telling people what has inspired him to push forward to make it to this point and stuff. That's what I got from it and stuff. And I felt like, yo, you speaking about all these songs is talking about where your unlimited inspiration came from. You know what I mean? So that's where that idea came from, Unlimited Inspiration. He's talking about where the source of his unlimited inspiration comes from on this project, in my opinion. And apparently in his, too, because he agreed to the name.
Absolutely.
So.
Well, I mean, again, it was just funny because, again, that is at least the one thing that I happened to notice. I'm like, wait a minute. I went through my entire closet. I'm like, Unlimited Inspiration. I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. And then I went to go find the last shirt you gave me, and I flip it around. I'm like, dude, so is he creating a new clothing line based around Unlimited Inspiration? Because and again, at least that was one thing I picked up on. Mm-hmm. But again, I was just curious to know because I went to go look at the shirt and I was just like, Unlimited Inspiration. So is he like, what is he doing? Again, playing 4D chess for all I know. So I mean, again, it just so happened. All right, hey, it works. So now I'm gonna ask this question. This question came from your Instagram or your TikTok followers, but I'm gonna ask EG this question first again. Mm-hmm. So let me ask EG.
What's up?
What is your favorite song off this project?
Ooh,
that's a good one.
That's a good question.
He's like, wait a minute. I'm looking at Teo, and he's like, wait a minute. They're my followers. What the hell? Right. Why is EG getting the question first?
Put him on the spot.
You got me on the spot with this one for sure. I would have to say, man, I think I got a couple, but if I could go off the top of my dome, I'm gonna give myself two choices if that's okay with you.
No, go for it, man.
So number one is we did an interlude on there and stuff where we was just acting out some stuff. And just the way that sounded, the way that started off with the chemistry we had on there, it was fun. So that's one of my favorite things on the album because you don't hear that on a lot of people's projects no more. People doing skits and interludes and stuff like that. So we got that, and I really like that one a lot. And then my next favorite, I would say probably 60 bars. Probably 60 bars because he was really spitting real heat on that thing, man. He was really getting it in, and people gonna respect him for his lyricism on that song for sure. So, you know, you want to call Teo a rapper, that's going to give you a reason to call him one when you listen to the 60 bar song, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now time to ask Teo the question that his followers decided to ask him. Right?
What's your favorite song on the album? I fuck with this. I'm gonna let you know.
Or songs.
Yeah, it changes, but I think in the current moment, and because I was asked this question, I re-listened to the project last night just to get in like a headspace because I knew I was gonna be coming here and talking over it with you, and so the song right now for me it's Mugenspire, and it's like, and shout out to my boy Demetrius. He gave us the idea to title this song too because he basically explained it as the subject matter of it is like my moral compass, and so that also ties in, as you know, with Mugenspire being unlimited inspiration, kind of ties in a kind of indirect way, but a very direct way if you really understand. And so from the subject matter on it to the beat, like the beat is probably one of my favorite beats on the whole project. It's just like a crazy energy, and so that song probably in the current moment is my favorite song.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Well, so you're about to drop this project. I believe it comes out the 29th.
Yep.
All right. So
yeah.
Listeners out there in Radioland, make sure that you go pre-order it or have it ready for I don't know what it is on Spotify, pre-download or I don't know, pre-listening. I don't know.
You could like pre-save, I think, is what they do on Spotify. Yeah, something of that nature. I don't really use the pre-save feature that often, but I know you could do it.
Yeah. So again, guys, and you can stop listening to whatever's currently being played on the radio. I don't really know. So, I mean, again, go save that album, and then that way, when the 29th rolls around, you're already slapping it and giving it comments because, I mean, no disrespect to the legendary Drake, he dropped an album and he told nobody, and it's like, meh. Again, you're not gonna say no to a Drake album, but
Right.
you'll take it when it comes around. So, you're dropping this project the 29th. Are you working on another project? Are you preparing to do shows? What's next for you?
Yeah. So with this project, and I'm super hyped because I wanted to announce this. I wanted to wait to announce this first with KPOO and the Madhouse, but to celebrate this album releasing, we're actually going to be doing like a tour in my city, and so it's called the In Town Tour, and essentially it's going to be like a celebration of the release of the album with the dopest artists in the city that I really, really vibe with, and I think that I believe in their music, and so we're treating it like as we would your favorite artists when they go on tour. So they have their VIP, they have their the passes and the lanyards and all this fun wristbands and stuff and posters, and so basically we're creating this it's gonna be like an experience where if you pull up to the show 3 different nights, you're gonna have 3 different artists including myself on each night, and so it's gonna be between 8 artists, and each night will have a different 2 people, so it's gonna be switching. So the idea is to have a different vibe for every single show at every different venue, so you can come in and get an experience of, if you're a fan of this artist, like you could see them on this night, but also they won't be playing this night. So if you got to catch them, you got to catch them on this night.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's going to have that like variety where every artist on the bill will have their fan base and their people that they're tapped in with to obviously come support them, and then understand that the celebration, it's for the Unlimited Inspiration album, so everybody's kind of included with everything that's going on, and so it's gonna be a blast. And,
Oh, for sure, man. I mean, again, people have been itching to go to shows.
Yeah.
We've been locked away for almost a year, so everybody's itching to travel, itching to go to catch a show somewhere. I mean, again, people. I think people are ready. They'll even support indie shows at this point. They're just been so deprived and been so locked away.
100%.
100%. So, again, as I mentioned, the project's called Unlimited Inspiration. Are you also working on a new line of merch as well for this project?
Yeah. So with this project, we're tying in the new release to the tour. Mm-hmm. So essentially, and shout out to my boy Dev Anglin. He's been working with me as we've been partners on planning the whole concept of this idea, and so we're going to be doing like your favorite artists, they have their band tees back in the day, or like their tour T-shirts where you have the designs of all the artists on it, the tour dates, and all that fun stuff. And so we're basically going to be applying that idea through Unlimited Inspiration onto all of the merch that we do. And so that's going to kind of be the next release, and it'll be not so much like how I usually do, where I'll do like a design or a theme for like the last one, for example, was a 2089 album. I did a whole 2089 theme.
Right.
Drop.
You had I believe you had the mask on each piece of the merch, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. So this one will be tailored more to the album, but more directly to the tour, where it's like that type of blending of it. And
okay.
So, yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, no, for sure. I can't wait to see the final design, and hell, I might even get one for sure. You support artists by buying their merch, guys. Absolutely. If you ever at a show, for sure, go check out the merch table and support artists by buying their merch. That is how you also can support local artists as well, because you can buy their music, but going and buying their merch, like you get a cool piece of merch that somebody like either hand drew or hand designed, right, and then printed a bunch of times, so then that way they could share their art with you. So that's how you can support local artists as well. Go to the shows, buy the merch. Teo, this time is for you. Is there anybody you want to shout out, out there in Radioland?
I want to shout out everybody in this building. Demetrius, Saira, Chips, EGDABEAST, Meesh, and everybody, you know what I'm saying? My family. I want to shout out, there's so many people I want to shout out. Oh, there's one of my TikTok followers. Her name is Angelina. Shout out to her. And also Sarah. And outside of that, just like the whole squad, like I'm so thankful that everybody's, we're here together and they pulled up with me to do this. And I'm always thankful for that. And shout out to, KPOO. Shout out to the Madhouse. And yeah, man.
Well,
so,
you guys
keep going.
You guys are the ones that make the show, not me. Nobody tunes in for me. They don't care. They don't care about me.
I'm here for you, Chips.
I'm expendable. But EG, what about you? Is there anybody that you want to shout out there in Radioland?
I would like to shout out the same thing, man. Everybody in this room and stuff. These guys also put in a lot of time and love into my individual craft and stuff, and things of that nature, especially when I really need it. D, Saira, they've shot things for me and stuff, done photos for me. Teo has done cover arts for me. Meesh right here and stuff. I'm working on a project for her also. She is also a very renowned singer in Sacramento who is coming up doing her thing, and she just sold out a show this weekend, so she'll be performing at Slim and Huskies, and I produced some records for her that people are really liking. So shout out to Meesh, man. Shout out to all the artists in Sacramento, man, who out there doing y'all thing. Yes. Keep that stuff up all the way. Don't give in. The world is listening to us. They watching us, and keep it up, everybody. Shoot, that's what I want to say.
Well, fun fact, KPOO isn't just here in the Bay Area. You know that, right? We're also on TuneIn Radio, so that means people are probably tuned in from Japan, Hawaii.
Man,
pick a place on a map.
Yeah, if y'all listening, tap in with Sacramento. Tap in with the Sacramento music scene. We're expanding. Tap in with Teo, T-E-O. You already know this, man. Tap in with me, EGDABEAST, EGDABEAST, all one word, on all the social medias and streaming platforms and stuff, man. You want some beats? Hit me up, man. Shout out to KPOO. This is my first time on a radio air, so this is really dope, and this is a great experience. You know what I mean? So hopefully more of these to come, and just big shout out, big love to everything.
For sure. What about you, Meesh? Anybody you want to give a shout out to out there in Radioland?
Yes, I want to give a shout out to Sacramento. Sacramento is a creative space. I want to give a shout out to every single person in this room. They've been so helpful. Shout out to Teo. This is the first for me too. Shout out to EGDABEAST. He is a producer that pretty much can produce anything. I've never seen him not be able to custom make something. So yeah, you can find me, Meesh, or Uno, UNOMEESH. And shout out to you who's listening to KPOO, because this is where it's at.
Yes.
Well, not only that, but you know, we'll eventually have to get Meesh on an interview.
Yes.
We're gonna have to.
100%.
She's gonna have to sit in that hot seat. You know,
100%.
We're gonna grill her with a few questions.
Yes.
Alrighty,
Yes.
so. You know, I'm going to set this up here, but Teo, why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about the song Manifest that you brought in?
Yeah. So Manifest, this song is a mantra, and I believe everybody has the power to embody the idea of manifesting in their life. And so this song is basically about that. Whatever ideas you have, whatever things you want to do in your life, put in hard work, execute, and just manifest that, and anything is possible.
Alrighty. Well, now, Teo, let me ask you this because I'm gonna give. I love to play games here, as you've clearly seen on this show. But
That's good.
should we have EGDABEAST do the custom intro to the song? Because we have several custom intros for your songs.
Yeah.
So should we throw him under the bus and have him do the custom intro for Manifest?
Let's do it.
All right. So EGDABEAST, you know, this is gonna be you. So tell our listeners who you are and what station is playing this song.
Okay, what's going on, world? What's going on to all the listeners? This is EGDABEAST, man, presenting myself on 89.5 KPOO San Francisco, and we are here to present a song to you called Manifest. You know what I'm saying? I hope that y'all enjoy it. It's produced by me, and the artist on this one is your boy Teo, and you are in for a treat.
Manifest, thinking out loud, goddamn, I feel blessed. Manifest, goddamn, I feel blessed. Manifest.
I thought he's over this track. He's like, oh,
Fine.
he hates me now. Fuck this guy.
No, I'm sure he's excited.
Manifest.
Thinking out now, damn, I feel blessed.
You know.
Thank you for popping my cherry, bro.
Oh man.
Wow. So proud of you. Wow.
Hot of there.
Wow.
You did good on that intro, man. Teo over here, man. He was like, oh fuck. He was like, all right. He was like, we're coming to the end of the interview. When he asked this question, I know we're at the end, and now I'm like.